Hello, this is Sir Atheist. In this video I'm going to talk a bit about the entire controversy regarding ASU, Atheist Scum United. As far as things go, I think that'll be a pretty reasonable and successful organization. All its goals, awareness of atheism, countering the suffering of people because of religion, trying to enforce the separation of church and state, and criticizing and mocking religion. All of those are very admirable goals. However, something Amazing Atheist said concerned me greatly. It was when he was responding to his detractors that weren't even planning to be part of the organization. He said something of the sort that as individuals and not part of the organization, the duty of those who were not going to be in the organization would be to stay or shut the fuck up, his direct quote. And that we individualistic atheists have given up on the very concept of we. Well, I want to respond to that. First of all, there is already a we, and that we is the community of every single atheist, or more specifically YouTube atheists. A bunch of individuals sharing their ideas, goals, doing very cool stuff in this let's just call it a debate. Now, ASU does not have any obligation whatsoever to take to heart any single suggestion made by any person outside of ASU. That is, at least I hope, obvious. It should be obvious that when someone outside of the organization criticizes something, you can say, oh gee, that's a good idea, or you can say, no, that's not a good idea, we're not going to apply it, or in your language, F you, or whatever. So ASU is under no obligation to take any of these suggestions. However, this still does not change the fact that we are a community of individuals exchanging our opinions. And the fact that a certain subclass of these individuals has decided to form a group does not change a thing. And that's really one of the pitfalls of groups, in my opinion, is that one person cannot state their mind, simply cannot state their mind as freely as before. The person outside is sort of now an outsider, and we don't take opinions of outsiders, right? I mean, this is just a caricature of course. And the person inside suddenly starts thinking about their standing within this group. And when people start thinking about their standing within a group, it usually discourages them saying anything that would rock the boat, in a way that simply wouldn't be the case if we all still were a bunch of individuals. Now, there is some benefit in coordinating all of these things, because all of us are committed to these four goals of ASU 100%. So if some of us join a group, it helps somewhat in coordination. But I think that we can really coordinate our actions effectively even without groups. So even that benefit is sort of a question mark. But like I said, you guys have the full right to join a group, associate with each other. That's all fine. But just remember that there's still always a bigger picture than that. Well, if you're not gonna now, your manifesto in a later video, in which you tried to enforce prohibition of indoctrination of children, I think that would cut into the freedom of religion way too much, and it would give off a very unfavorable impression. Because, you know, who is to judge what is indoctrination and what is not? you can't really do that, and the law would be largely unenforceable, and I don't believe in passing laws that are not enforceable, that are not really largely accepted by the society, because then you make a mockery of the judicial system, just like with the ridiculous war on drugs, or raising the limit of drinking in America to 21. All of these are simply as ridiculous as they are ineffective. And the violence thing about pacifism and response to violence, that needs to be clarified in your statement, what exactly you consider violence. Of course, most atheists obviously consider violence direct physical attacks, but then, some religions would go and say exactly the same thing, and then they perceive every single insult or mockery towards them as an actual attack. So it might be better to clarify that. So this got me thinking. It's a really cool idea. If I had to write a manifesto for myself, what kind of things would that manifesto hold? How would I formulate all of these issues in a concise document? Because that is really what ASU is going to have to do. So I drew up a nice little manifesto, and since it's easier if you don't want to talk to individuals, then perhaps you'll talk to other atheist organizations. So I drew up a manifesto of the one-member organization of Serbian atheists. So stick around. In the next video I'm gonna read it to you.